All right, so a tribute coming up to a fallen soldier killed in Iraq answering the call of duty after the 9/11 attacks. A special interview with his family about a foundation set up in his name to help our veterans and the families of other fallen heroes.
Guardians like Travis Manion, the son of a Marine. Travis aspired to follow in his father's footsteps and was accepted by the USS Naval Academy. On April 29, 2007, while fighting to rescue his fellow Marines from danger, Travis was killed by a sniper. Our nation owes a debt to its fallen heroes that we can never fully repay. But we can honor their sacrifice, and we must. That is our obligation to Americans' guardians. Guardians like Travis Manion.
That was President Obama honoring First Lieutenant Travis Manion during his Memorial Day speech. In memory of Travis, his family created the Travis Manion Foundation, and it assists wounded and disabled veterans and the families of fallen heroes. The foundation also hosts the 9/11 Heroes Run, held every September 11th. Fox News' Martha McCallum sat down with his mother Janet and sister Ryan yesterday to learn more about this American hero.
We want to talk about Travis, your son and your brother, who was killed in Iraq, cited for bravery during President Obama's Memorial Day speech. And now the two of you have started this incredible foundation in his name. He was such a handsome young man, Janet and Ryan. I want everyone to understand a little bit about his story, Janet.
Well, the type of person he was,
yes.
he was a great kid. He was stubborn. He was your typical kid, you know. But he loved family, he loved his friends, and he really loved doing things for other people.
And one of the reasons that there's this 9/11 Heroes Run that is in his name is because he did one tour in Iraq, and then he was about to go back for his second tour, and he visited Ground Zero, right, Ryan?
He actually visited Rescue 1 in Manhattan, went up there with another Marine buddy of his and spent the night up there just talking and telling stories about September 11th. He came back, and the guys up there had given him a hat and handed the hat to my dad. And on the back of the hat it said 9/11 never forget. And he gave it to my dad and he said, wear this while we're gone, and remember, this is what we're fighting for.
Yeah, and how much, Janet, did 9/11 have to do with his reasons for fighting in Iraq?
Oh, it had a lot to do with it. When he had his choice of where to go as far as being a Marine officer,
right.
He looked, and he graduated at the basic school in the Marine Corps at the top of his class, and he had his choice of where to go, and he chose the next unit that was going to be deploying to Iraq.
And what was your response when you heard that?
Well, you know, as a mother, you worry, but I knew that was Travis. I knew that's what he would do.
He was an extraordinary young man. I mean, it's well documented on the website, and I encourage everybody to look at it. But he was a standout athlete, a standout student, and really a leader to other people in his life, to other students, and then to other soldiers, and to Iraqis as well when he was there, right? Just tell us a little bit about that, Janet.
He was. His Iraqi interpreter contacted us, and he just said the Iraqi people loved him. The soldiers respected him. So.
You know that too about your brother.
Yeah.
So tell us what everybody can do and how people can be involved, because, you know, it's such a tribute to you, having suffered this incredible loss of this bright star in your family, that you've committed yourself to making sure that his memory is still alive. And how are you doing that on 9/11 with these runs?
Well, today we had our official announcement on the Intrepid, and with the General Motors Foundation, and Chevrolet is our official pace car for the races, and we're going to spread the word. Because of them, it's allowed us to make our dream become a reality, and we'll have these races throughout the country.
And Ryan, where does the money go?
Well, 25% of the monies goes right back into the local communities where the 5Ks are held. So the money's going to organizations that support our first responders, and then part of the proceeds are going to come right back to the Travis Manion Foundation, where we can continue to work with families of fallen service members and our veterans.
Well, he was an extraordinary young man and too short on this earth, and we thank you so much for being here, and we encourage everybody to support the Heroes Run for 9/11. Where can they go to find out some more information, Ryan?
They can go to travismanion.com and they can find everything there.
Good. Thanks so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Good to meet you, and thank you for the service and sacrifice of your family.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
What a great story. I will put that web address, travismanion.com, out on Twitter so that everyone can visit that site.
To the people who knew Travis Manion and Brendan Looney, it was no surprise that the two became fast friends. As roommates at the Naval Academy, they shared a love of country and, sadly, the same tragic ending. Both were killed while on duty for our country. Travis in Iraq and Brendan in Afghanistan. Now their families are doing all they can to make sure that their deaths and others will not be in vain. Janet Manion is the mother of the late First Lieutenant Travis Manion. Amy Looney is the widow of Navy SEAL Brendan Looney, and they're my guests today. First of all, so sorry for your tragic loss. It's so hard to see those pictures of them together. I mean, they were best of friends, and Amy, you were part of the group with them, right?
Absolutely.
So please, if you can, share your wonderful memories of the people that you loved.
Oh my goodness, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I met Brendan back in 2003, and we had been dating and got married in 2008. So Travis, we're both very close friends with when Brendan was at the Naval Academy, and they continued their friendship all the way up until 2007, and obviously something that will carry forth always in the future now that they're laying at rest next to each other.
So we have a young widow here, and then we have a mother who mourns for the loss of her son. Tell us about Travis.
Well, Travis was special. He was just he loved people. He loved living, and he loved doing things for others. So that's why through our foundation, we honor the fallen by challenging the living. It's something we have to keep their spirits alive, all the brave men and women that's sacrificed for our freedoms.
Mm-hmm. So many people would think to themselves, wow, when I lose somebody from my family, maybe I would just sit at home and never do anything ever again. But the two of you have decided to do something so wonderful, and here you are making this race that you've created. It's now in 35 cities across the country. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing way for everyone in the community. We want to make sure that, of course, personally, to honor Brendan and Travis, but to honor all men and women in uniform, to honor all the firefighters, EMTs, police officers that we've lost over, the last 10 years as of September 11th. Mm-hmm. And we're doing a 5K in, thanks to the efforts of Chevrolet, we're able to fund something that's so wonderful, and it's going to create such an impact to help. Even if you come out, you run the race, you volunteer, you cheer, that's your way of showing support that we can honor all of these people that have made such a huge sacrifice for the country.
So Janet, what is the big announcement today, that you've partnered with General Motors and Chevrolet?
Yes, the General Motors Foundation and Chevrolet has stepped into the arena and rose to the occasion to make our dream a reality. Travis spent, before he left on his second tour to Iraq, he came up here and spent the day with Rescue One right here in New York City, and after telling 9/11 stories, he came home with the hat they had given him. And on the back it said, 9/11, never forget. And he handed it to his father and he said, Dad, wear this while I'm gone. This is why we are in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Sometimes people forget, because it's been 10 years now, why exactly we ended up in those two countries, and it was all coming back to 9/11.